Okay, I think we're live. We're live. All right, guys. Uh, exciting stuff today. We got a lot done, or I got a lot done. We is me. I got a lot done this last week, and I am very excited about it. Um, it's starting to come together, and I think we should be playable within a week or so. Considering that I've been saying 2 weeks for the past month, that probably means 2 weeks, but I'm saying 1 week. As a side note, I might get distracted tomorrow. There's a game jam I want to participate in. I've done 2 game jams total in the last couple of weeks, and in as many weeks, and they were a lot of fun. I want to try a slightly bigger one, but then I think I'll dip back. And the one I want to try is actually creating the basis for the project that I want to do next. Essentially, a mix of Core Keeper meets Minecraft meets Elden Ring, because I just started playing Core Keeper. It's a lot of fun. If you're making video games, I would suggest playing video games because it tells you what is out there and what mechanics work and what mechanics don't, and you could rediscover the wheel on all of that through hundreds of hours of work. But I would suggest cheating. Cheat in every legal way, in every legal and moral way that you can. Cheat. My word, would you cheat? We don't have any viewers yet, so I'm going to do a quick show and tell here, and maybe someone will jump on. Maybe they won't. That's okay. Just use this as time to code. Build up my library of videos. So I made something cool. Boom. Look at this. Actually, I should make this full screen, shouldn't I? Oh, jeez. What in the hey? Come back. Maximize. There we go. Yeah. Boom. Look at this. So this, if I can get it in focus, is a miniature that I made out of sculpted. Yeah, 40K like Warhammer and other types of miniatures. Those are the 40K miniatures are generally some of the best. Their games suck. Eggs. Their games are terrible. They are a miniatures company that happens to have games, and they make amazing miniatures. Very overpriced, but amazing. Anyways, the sprues that they come on, if you don't know, they come on a sheet of like each figure. All the figures come on a sheet with all the arms and legs and stuff detached and attached to this sprue. This plastic, square brick thing going around it, and then you cut out your pieces and whatever else. Well, I save the sprues and I do several things with them. I clip up the bits that are odd and nubbly, and I melt them down in acetone, and I remold them to make plastic things. The others, the ones that are really straight and clean, I take those and I grind them up. I think I showed you guys this a week or so ago. Anyways, I grind them up in a coffee grinder to give them all this battle damage. I cut them up into little brick-shaped bits, and then this I glued to a mini toilet paper roll to make this. I used a toy mouthpiece and some toy tentacles and spikes from, I think, Mega Bloks set that I used for the points. Now, the spikes for the 3D model did not hold up. I'm going to make those bigger and chunkier and less pointy. Though that will look a little worse, it will be safer and less safer for kids. Like, you won't get stabbed with it with the 3 sharp tines. You can see where they were. I pulled them off because I have kids and I don't want them stabbing themselves. And also it'll be stronger so that it's less likely to break on its own. They'll look a little bit worse, but for durability and safety, I think that's worth it. Anyways, it's just a living castle. I made it for my chess set, but I'll probably use it for war games and other things too. It's got tentacles and it just moves. I thought, why would a castle move? Anyways, I again think I told you guys this, but I got it 3D modeled. I took pictures of my model with the Kiri engine that gave me kind of a general blob in this shape. It got the face pretty good, but it didn't get any of the brick definition all that well. It just kind of got blobs around it. So the Kiri isn't amazing. It's good. It's amazing that we can do this kind of thing, but it doesn't get a perfect representation of your model, of your thing that you're trying to turn from real life into a 3D sculpt. So I had to go in and painstakingly etch out and highlight each brick with my 3D modeling software, Nomad, if you're curious, on the iPad. And yeah, so I just think he looks so cool. He's now a 3D model. I think I'll try to put together the whole chess set and sell it as an STL, or maybe even print and sell full chess sets. I'd have to do shipping at that point, which is against my religion. But all right, yeah. Anyways, okay, so that is cool, and we have viewer. Welcome, viewer. And so what was I saying? The okay, exciting things for this week. Check out where we're at with the game. I am going to mute this. Oh geez. Oh no, not that, not that. Oh boy. No, I hit the wrong button on the thing. That was okay. There we go. Because the sound, yeah, it doesn't work with this. It has good music, but it doesn't have great sound effects. Though we are working on sound effects. I just recorded a bunch of sounds. These are from my phone recording thing. I just recorded a bunch of these of my car and an airplane flying overhead. And I just got some construction trucks, some sounds of those. I got one that bothers me greatly. It is an amazing sound. It's this big, like, tractor with treads going across the pavement. It's just, it's the perfect sound. It is the perfect sound, but that tractor, I even asked the guy, because it has a beeping noise. It's like beep, beep. I'm gonna see if I can cut around the beeps, because I asked the guy, I was like, do you mind if I waste your time for a second? Can you drive the other way for like 20 seconds without the beeps? And he's like, that one beeps no matter which direction it's going. I'm like, no. But it's okay. I'll see if I can cut around it and get that sound, because that sounds amazing. I'm going to layer all those together and see if I can get really good speed racer pod things. I'm getting really good sci-fi sounds for these big clunky engine noises. So that's on the horizon. And let's see where the game's at. This is very exciting because we've got a few things here. First of all, we have a limit on this, so it can only get so small. Oh, there's my chillins, which means that this will never overlap with that. And also, it just looks better when it doesn't get that small. That is what she said. Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, we'll do this. I also removed the test tracks. There were tracks. So there's tracks that you can make in the game in the track workshop. And then I actually, to start the game, I hard coded some tracks, which means I went in the code and I said, put a wall at point X 36 and Z, 48, and, alter it to this degree. So I essentially built the track essentially by hand. It was extremely painstaking. It was very difficult. And I was like, this cannot stand. I made 2 good tracks. Technically I made like 4 tracks, but 2 of them were good, and they took a ton of work. They are still great tracks, and I think what I might do is use them as a tutorial level, like raise the walls, put a ceiling on it, and act like you're in the bowels of a ship training for a big race. So I might use those there, but I didn't want them in the standard race lineup. So I pulled those out, which means that we automatically get on one of the good ones. And get ready for this. This is great. When it loads. It takes a second now, and I should I should throw in a loading screen while it waits. So you hit start, it automatically switches to the loading screen, and then just stalls for a second. And look at this. First of all, the thing you'll notice is, well, the ads, but the wall panels look really nice too. I cleaned those up. I might have to double the size of the wall panels themselves in my editing software, or my pixel editing software, because if you notice, the size of the pixels on the ground and the size of the pixels on the wall are different, and that bothers me to my core. The other more important thing is that we have ads, and I have to actually get take out all my animations now and put in only real ads, which is going to cut down on my ads a bit. And also arrows, so you know which way you're turning. And mainly you know which way you're turning because the ads stop and all become one color. If you're looking at a red wall, you are about to turn. We've got the mini map working in the corner and working just right. All of this resizes now, which is beautiful. And these ads took a second. So if you have been watching, you know we had these on one of the test tracks, but they were pasted to the wall. They were full color, full opacity, and they just sat there, and they were only the animations. Now we can have static posters just in our folder. And you can see we've got, see, this is a game I made, Calico. We're going to just do it. There's a book I wrote, Mage Hunter. You can buy that one on Amazon, which is awesome. It is great, actually. It's for I was going to say for a first novel, but it's actually just good. I'm a decent critic of novels, of books, of stuff like that in general. And that's a good book. I don't care who you are. It's a Western. It's like Clint Eastwood went into a Harry Potter book in the Old West. It is great. It is a ton of fun. There's Once Upon a Podcast. That's a podcast that a friend of mine is running, and I actually feature on one of the episodes. I was doing audiobooks for that one. So it's about fairy tales. I do that. And here we go. Humans versus Zombies. This one is free. This was a game I developed on my mission. Oh, geez. And we were a bunch of elders with only one day off a week. And we couldn't watch movies and we couldn't play video games. I know, terrible. So we bought a ton of Nerf guns, and we would go to the church building and play Humans versus Zombies. And after many iterations, literally hundreds of times playing this, we came up with rules that keep you from, because we've had some major injuries over the years. By major, I mean like, you know, severe cuts and bleeding and stuff like that, some sprained ankles and stuff. But nothing severe like hospital worthy, but severe for playing a horror survival sport. So we came up with a list of rules while we were out there. We added more, and then when I got back, I played some more with friends and added more. Anyways, it's only like a 4 or 5 page document because the rules are simple. It's not meant to be that complicated, but you need to know the rules or you will get all of the same injuries that we got when we were doing it. But that one's just free. Humans versus Zombies, horror survival sport by Danny Oakes, the plot father, and a litany of other elders who helped me develop it on the mission, and some friends who helped me develop it when I got back to finalize the rules. There's my logo, Plot Father Publishing. It's beautiful. And this is a friend of mine's company, Ghost Coded. I just stole that from his website. I should probably do a better version. I did get permission from him, but he then sent me an official logo, so I should go and kind of an official logo. I have to actually go edit it some. But we have all these ads floating. Here's my uncle's company, Apollo Streams, and his new product, the Ball Hawk AI. That is a sports filming software, which is kind of nice for this. I think I may I may do the lore that the drone flying behind you, scanning you, giving you the angle, the visual that we have now is the Ball Hawk. Anyways, these are just products and companies that I've made or that friends and family of mine have made. Calico, my card game. I think I've told you about this. I made this. I've been thinking about this game for years. It's like, what is it? Hearthstone or Pokemon or Magic the Gathering, like a trading card game, but the cards you trade are playing cards. and it actually works. It actually functions. I was thinking about this game for years, and then I finally cracked it and wrote it in like an afternoon. That one's only like $3 or $4 right now. Actually, I've got the final version. I should update and post that. This one, The Devil's Run, that is a book that is half done, but not done yet. Same with Billy and the Beggar's Moons. We actually have a song in this game that plays about Billy and the Beggar's Moon, like this story that I'm writing. He's the semi-historical character, a legendary character that probably definitely existed, but kind of like King Arthur. Like it looks like King Arthur existed, but it's really hard to tell exactly what happened. We know that he existed and that he did a lot of very interesting things in his life because he's remembered from so long ago with so little written record. Yeah, so we have ads, and this is very exciting. This is one of the points of this game. They all flicker at varying rates, which I think is cool. Oh, geez. I turned too sharp. This is one of the things we need to balance is the turning. Because the game, after I made some changes, is no longer that fun to play. It was a blast to play. It is no longer. It's still fun to play, but not as fun. I need to fix it. So one thing about these ads too is I'll probably have to replace all of them, or at least all of the GIF ads, because they slow down the frame rate a bit. I'm rendering them at way too high a resolution. I need to shrink all of them down so that they are smaller and easier to display. But yeah, hey, that lap only took me 7 minutes. But yeah, that is exciting. Now you can see the ads flying by you. You can see the arrows, so it helps you turn. Ooh, and this is one of the reasons it's not fun to play right now is the boost is tied to your health. I still like that feature, but I have an idea on how to change it. I think we'll probably get to do that today. Ooh, boy. Oh, too much. Wow. Oh, geez, I'm sucking. Okay. So my thought for that is we've got these two bars on the side, the orange and the purple. What I think I'm going to do is I liked how it was doing the engines, all different colors for different ships, but I think I may standardize the engine colors. What I'm thinking is we'll start off with, I don't know, blue or something. And then when you hit your turbo, your boost, it'll do orange. And that'll just go until it runs out and then you stop boosting. Nothing else happens. It doesn't hurt you. But your purple bar will also fill up. And I may swap. This would be better blue, but I'd have to recolor all of it. But this would be the time to recolor it because I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames. Because I haven't done the health bar. I've done all 106 frames. These will be, I don't know, 50 to 60. But I haven't done the 50 to 60 frames. I only have 5 frames for each of these right now. So this would be the time to change them. But my thought is you have a thing that works as either coolant or extra boost. So you can use it one of two ways. As this one fills up, you can either use it to heal yourself a bit or to give yourself an extra fast boost, which will make you just go crazy fast. Because why not go crazy fast? A few years ago, I was working on an RPG. It ended up being Side Quests of Bjorn, which is also available. Do I have that poster here? I might not have the Side Quests poster. I need that in my thing. I don't think I do. Mother of mercy. I'm advertising my uncle's sports company and my friend's my friend's coding thing. Don't get me wrong, I think we're kind of friends now, but we only met recently. But I like his stuff, and I also helped with one of his games. So, that's a bummer of a thing. I got to put that in. Anyways, I was making side quests, and I realized we had this somewhat complex thing where we're like, well, if you have this number, you'll roll. We had custom dice. You'll roll this many dice. You'll roll 5 dice. But if you have this number, We don't want to just add that to your dice pool, so we'll convert 2 of these 5 dice, and we have 2 in this number and 5 in this number, so we'll convert 2 of these dice to superior dice, and then you're rolling 5 dice, 3 inferior, 2 superior, and then you roll that. And that system has been done well in the past. Ooh, I also need to fix this collider. Put that on my list. But I realized later, I was like, well, it was actually, I played the game Marvel Crisis Protocol, the miniature war game or miniature skirmish game, and they just have one type of dice, and they have just fistfuls of dice. There's one card that I have. You play as Iron Man. This game is amazing mechanically, and you can pool mana or power from your entire army into a space laser that you can use once per game. And I would hit that so hard. It was like my whole strategy. I would go Asgard because they generate more mana than other factions, and I would throw Iron Man in the list because you can add. You have to have most of them in a faction to get the faction benefits, which was more mana, and then you can add other characters that don't fit into the faction so long as they're not more than 50%. Anyways, so I'd have the Asgard thing. I would throw in Iron Man, throw in this card that did the space laser. I would load everyone up with mana, and then I would just do like a normal attack was like, I don't know, 3 to 8 dice. Like 8 was huge. And I would throw this all, and I would do like 20 dice all in one. And I just like, and then I would have to be, because I would have to be like, okay, I've got all my dice, and I was like, hey, can I borrow your dice for this, because I need to roll 20 dice to, kick your face in. And they're like, fine. I would roll it. It was awesome. It felt amazing to do. So what I realized is more dice is more fun. Like, why not let people roll fistfuls of dice as long as it doesn't detract from the thing? And because of the custom dice, you only have to read a symbol. You don't have to read a number. It's, again, another thing with Warhammer. Warhammer is not a good game. They do the whole fistfuls of dice thing, but you gotta be like, okay, I'm 4s, 5s, and 6s. Hold on, which ones are 4s and 5s and 6s? And the extra time that it takes is the difference between having a great time and having a bad time, and and it being tedious. Not a bad time, but between that and it being tedious. So that's and especially if it's things like you roll giant fistfuls of dice and you only hit on 5s, or you only hit on 6s, because that happens sometimes. It's like, okay, I'm going to roll this many dice and I'm going to maybe hit with 2 of them. I'm rolling like 20 dice and I maybe hit with 2 of them. That also doesn't feel good. So I guess more dice is not necessarily better, but more dice for the purpose. At that point, it'd be better to roll, I don't know, statistics. Less dice with better chance to hit. You could have the same statistical odds of hitting, but roll less dice, and it'll feel better. Anyways, so that's why speed. That's what this had to do with. Speed. That was a tangent. Why not give people more speed? Speed is fun. Speed is awesome. Always be accelerating, always having more speed. So we can go this fast, but we can also then have more speed, even if you can handle it. Or very likely, I'm going to tone down the damage because it ticks up pretty quickly. You explode a little too often, which is a bummer. So I'm going to tick that down, but damage will still be a thing. But you can use this thing as coolant. And also, if you're using it, it's going to go, your engine's going to turn purple or maybe blue. I don't know. Because blue is like a soothing color, so it could cool your engine, or it's like a high octane color. Blue is probably better. I'll do blue. I'm doing it. Okay, so I'm doing blue. Your engine will turn blue. But as soon as you run out of this one, which is more of a decision to use, like the boost will fill faster and you can just boost when you can boost. The blue, the overburn, I think is what we'll call it, is going to be you burn until you run out, and then it will start burning into your HP. And at that point, your engine will turn red, so that you can tell, hey, it's burning into my what's it, HP. Like it was just doing there. I couldn't tell because I wasn't looking at my HP bar, but this way it'll just be like, oh, your engine turned red. We're burning HP. So yeah, we'll go blue, to red. And even then, if you had enough HP and you're like, this is the last turn, burn HP, I'd go backwards. No, burn HP. Oh, and die right before the thing for the win. Anyways, I think I may also try to pixelate the, what's it called? The map, the mini map. Because that line just looks wobbly and weird. And you don't need that much definition on it. You need some, but it just looks kind of wobbly and weird. And that's your fault. That line comes into my head all the time. We've got the, what was that song? It was in Guardians of the Galaxy too. It's like, you're still young, that's your fault. And it's like, I don't know. That just comes into my head all the time. And people are like, oh yeah, no. This went terribly for me. And I was like, you're still young, that's your fault. I rarely sing it to them, but I always think it about them. And but I am happy. Something like that. I don't actually know the words. I know that line. That line stuck in my head. I don't know. Is that good song? It's a weird line. Is that good songwriting to have a weird line that sticks in your head? Or is it gimmicky? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. So what we're going to try to do today is to try to get the menu to persist, so that when you select a race and you select a number of laps, it's going to remember how many laps and stuff you selected. After that, an easy thing that should follow, because we'll have data persistence for our settings, is we'll then add settings like volume control, which will be great, because right now the sound effects suck and I need to fix them. But while I'm fixing them, it'll be nice to not hear them so loud all the time. Don't get me wrong, I think they're at a good volume for when they're good sound effects. Like, I don't think there's a problem with the volume itself in general. But it'll be nice to be able to say, I want my music volume at this. I want my sound effects volume at this. Because you could just turn off the music permanently if you have no soul and don't love awesome, angsty, early 2000s post-grunge rock music while you're racing. Who doesn't like early 2000s angsty post-grunge rock music while they're racing? It's heresy. You must have it. You cannot drive cars without being like, Spoon Man, come together with your hands and save me. I'm together with your plans and save me. That how can you race without that, really, honestly? Oh, as a side note, these arrows animate if you guys didn't see it. What in the what was that? Hold on, is that an error on my art, or is that? No, that's a flicker effect. Okay. I don't know if you guys saw that. There's like a flicker. Yeah, see right there. It's going to show up again. Maybe it'll show up there. It's not extra pixels. I didn't get the art wrong. It just flickered. It has a flicker effect on the thing. Lap 8. Let's do this real quick. Sorry, that was diagnostically important. I know we had to pause and look at an arrow for like 15 seconds, but it's important. Sometimes you got to just stare at your arrows. Oh, jeez. Spoon Man, come together with your hands and save me. Apparently, that song, which you probably don't know Spoon Man if you didn't play ATV Off-Road Fury, or were into a very specific type of music in the early 2000s, late 90s. You probably don't know Spoon Man if you weren't in those categories. But if you were in those categories and you were wondering, man, Spoon Man is a freaking sick song. And it is great to do giant jumps off of over caverns in an ATV too. and probably crash, or to run into the barrier and go flying across the thing. That was the funnest border barrier ever in ATV Off-Road Fury. They had this big open thing that you could do, and at the edge there was a barrier, and it's like, barriers suck because your world isn't big enough, as big as the player wants to go. The world can never be as big as the player wants to go. But there it is, the end screen. But yeah, in ATV Off-Road Fury, when you finally found the border, it was hard to find. You had to go looking for it. You had to go off a ways. The jumps stopped being as cool as you went out. Like, there were a few dissuading factors. Like, all the fun stuff is near the center. Go to the center. They're like, okay, if you're really determined to go out, once you finally found it, it went like, that was the sound, and it launched you and your guy like miles across the field, across the thing. So occasionally, if you're playing, with your cousin late at night on split screen, you would hear, you look at their screen, you'd see them flying. You'd look at your screen, you'd look up, and you'd see as their dude goes overhead. And it was the funnest border boundary. Like, they just had fun with the fact there was border. As a side note, MX versus ATV Unleashed, big game back in the day. It was the big competitor to ATV Off-Road Fury. Hot take, I just bought the game for $2 because it is hot garbage these days, comparatively speaking. But also, it's hot garbage generally speaking. ATV Off-Road Fury was a better game, and I'll tell you why. MX versus ATV Unleashed doesn't have a free play mode. You don't have just a giant world that you can go listen to angsty music and drive and do sick jumps and wheelies on. That's not an option in MX versus ATV. It has motorcycles, and ATV Off-Road Fury doesn't. ATV Off-Road Fury is ATVs, as the title would suggest. Yeah, the MX versus ATV Unleashed just does races, and you know what? Their falling mechanics are way less forgiving. You're riding an ATV, you jump, you land on the back side of the thing, wheels down on the wrong side of the jump just by a little, and you're like, yeah, no, your guy can take that, and you land, and it's like, ugh, and your guy falls off, and you're like, okay, I gotta respawn. Like, no, ATV Off-Road Fury was so much better. It took some work. Like, your guy was good at this. It took some work to get him to fall off and die. Not so with MX versus ATV Unleashed. So the skimpy death mechanics and the no free play, and by the way, free play wouldn't be any fun with that game anyways because of their skimpy death mechanics. ATV knew how to like let you have some impact and stuff like that. And it's not on Steam, which bums me out majorly, but that's okay. I might buy one of the newer ones because MX versus ATV has been making games since. Apparently, ATV Off-Road Fury stopped. I wonder, I don't even know, they may have been made by the same company. I don't know. But ATV Off-Road Fury was better. Anyways, the song Spoon Man, to come back to this, was apparently written after the lead singer of the band came out and saw a homeless guy playing the spoons for money. And he loved the song. And then he asked that guy to come and record some stuff with him after he wrote a song about the homeless spoon man doing his spoons on the side of the thing. And so that guy, the guy that inspired it, is doing spoons on the track. And they say that, Spoon Man, come together with your hands and save me. I'm together with your plans and save me. Okay, where are we going? Race setup. Okay. So that's such a long story that you didn't need. But, oh boy. Such a long story you didn't need. Okay. So this should be saving that data. So the last thing that I did was fix the menu so it had a hard lock so that the screen can only get so small. And okay, that's what I already did. Then I added a menu JSON object so that we can save data and prove that it worked. So that's the last thing I did before starting on this. Okay. I totally lost what I was saying. Dang it. Come together with your all. Okay, so let's save this. So theoretically, let's see if this works. While it's loading. Hey. Okay, that worked. We're at 5 laps now. I'm not going to do all 5 laps, no worries. You know what I'd like to add? If anyone has been watching for a while, you will know that up here in the corner, we used to have these blinking lights and it was really cool looking. I'd like to remove either this panel or this panel and put the blinking lights back in. It'll be a bit of work, probably half hour's worth. There's just other things that need done. Come together with your hands. Okay, so it doesn't save yet, but it does write it. Shoot. Okay, I'm just running this terminal command. It is saving. That is awesome. It is saving. That is awesome. Letters. Let's see if we can get the data to pair list. Okay. And already. Okay. It's saving. An interesting detail. Now write 7 cleanly. No, 7 why not? That's because you just wrote in the real int via lap buttons, overriding the earlier float. Good. Confirms the right path is clean. I'll still cast to int on read in piece 2 because an older save file could hold a 0.0 and belt and suspenders costs nothing. Good call. If you're wondering what that means, essentially, it's going to say, hey, convert this to an int rather than long? A different type of integer or a different type of number. format. So if it's already an integer, it'll convert to int and it'll be fine. But if somehow we put something in there that's wrong, it'll still convert it to int and the game won't crash, even if it gets bad data, which is awesome. And thus, belt and suspenders cost nothing. Add the load helper. Right above refresh labels. Let's get rid of this. Okay. Not you. Come on. Nope. 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 There it is, right above refresh labels. Load save prefs. Okay. And it needs some lovin'. By that, I mean it needs to see the actual code. I'm considering doing, brace yourself, agentic coding. What I mean by that, if you don't know what agentic means, it means that Claude can go in and code stuff itself. Now, I'm thinking of baby stepping this and not actually letting it do agentic coding. Like, I don't want it to touch my files. I want to edit my files. But I might let it start looking at my files. So swap over. So it has access to my files, but say essentially don't write anything. Give it to me in copy and paste format. Oh darn. Okay. Clear ordering. Okay. Actually. I don't know why that didn't find that, but there it is. Okay. Crawl and grapple with your hands and save me. I'm together with your plans and save me. Let's see. Okay, let's see if this works. 6! 6, it worked. Oh, freaking heck, it worked. So, if I go to 7, go escape, and I come back, this shouldn't work. Oh, no, it did. Okay. So each tick is going to work. So 8. Now if I close the game. Oh, part of me wants to change this, but it's not necessary. Yeah, 8. Okay, so it is saving. That's good. 5. 5 is your minimum number of laps. There's a reason 5 is your minimum number of laps. It takes like a lap to get any kind of speed, and you're not having the full experience if you're only going like 3 laps. So no 3 laps. You go 5 laps. You are forced to play fun. You cannot have fun your way. You must have fun my way. It is my game. Okay. That is working. Let's do the foo. Let's do the same thing. Thing for be selected. Track. And we can be done with this page. Good. Small thing to clear up because it works or not. The track is already part of what we built. Okay, hold on. And track, last track via search, and on track picked already. Okay, hold on. Does it already do this? Did I? Okay, it may already do this. I may be dumb. Shell, yeah. Shell, yeah. No, already does it. We're done. Never mind. Already does it. We're done. I'm done. Or at least on, oh boy, thorough. Yes, spelled it correctly. Do you ever get those big things and you're like, oh, that's a big word that I have not spelled in ages? When was the last time you spelled out thorough? Thorough. I'm on a live stream right now. And the game has no audio. For the live stream. So let's skip volume settings for now and go to balance. Racing. And making it fun again. Aquen. Okay. Making it fun again. I want to remove the feature that allows the boost to keep going and eat into HP. I will want to use this later, though. I want to add another button that correlates with dorelates. Yeah, I knew that was wrong. Two R's and E. It's not even close. Correlates with the top left bar. This is either two button, here we go, system that correlates with the top left bar. This is either coolant or overburn. If you press one button, let's see, via shift JK, let's say J, it heals you some HP for the amount of coolant use. If you press the other button, let's say K, then it gives you a super boost that is way faster, faster than the other. But if you keep using it, it can eat up your HP. It can eat up your HP. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So press the button, J. It heals you some HP for the amount of coolant you use. If you press, let's say 100%, coolant is 50% HP. If you press the other button, let's say K, then it gives you a super boost. Okay, this way you have to decide to live more recklessly in order to shield, in order to potentially wound yourself in the attempt. Yep, cool. That works. Never mind. It already does it. We're done. I'm done. Or at least unthorough. That's a good mechanic. The risk-reward decision on a shared resource is exactly the kind of thing that makes the racer feel alive. Coolant or overburn off one bar means every pickup is a live choice. Heal, safe, or gamble for speed. Let me make sure I understand it precisely before touching code. Okay, there's real design. Okay. One shared resource. Top left bar. Left bar. The current boost / overbar. Call it the overburn meter. J, coolant, K, overburn. Removing the current. Okay, a few things I genuinely need answered. Okay. What refills the meter? Is normal boost staying? There's a third thing on top. Normal boost, coolant, overburn. Souped up version of the tap deliberately, not on other stays. I'll confirm HP overburn. The HP eating rate on overburn. When the meter hits 0, you keep holding K. How fast does it chew HP? Fast, scary, rarely worth it, or slow. Real tactical option. These 4 button slots. You mentioned earlier I had 3 or 4 more buttons. I didn't say that. J and K are 2 of them. Okay. Here's the problem. This camera is right in the way of this thing. I'm going to move this over to the other side of the screen. That will make more sense so that I can see it. And it'll look more like I'm looking into the camera, like a good YouTuber. Okay, so let's clarify. controls space /A. Keyboard /controller space A equals boost tied to the top right to the right bar on the top right panel like it is now. Although when it runs out, you will just stop boosting instead of eating HP. Okay, J. J is heal. Okay, so let's do K first. K or square or oh crap, what is controller? X. X equals my baby's having a hard time. Poor girl. Okay, K or X is over burn. Tied to the left bar on the top. Tied to the currently unused left bar, unused left bar on the top left panel. This should behave exactly, for the moment, like right now, but to go much faster and add more blur and whatever that is, the what is that called? The force perspective thing. The other will be the other speed effects. J / triangle or Y equals coolant heal your managed HP. Okay. Let me think. Okay, those should be our controls. Let's see, we can let's see. We will also want to also want to standardize the engine colors and change them with what type of fuel is burning. This can wait till after. This can wait a bit. Let's get it functional first. Okay. Why do you do this? I'm already in the directory. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, this is a clean spec now. Thank you. That clears up the key thing I had backwards. Space boost stays exactly as it is, tied to the right bar, except when it empties, it just stops instead of eating HP. K or X behaves like today's boost, including the empty meter eats HP behavior you're removing from normal boost, but faster, more blur speed, FX. Speed FX, and it's tied to the currently unused left bar, JY coolant. Spends the left bar to heal HP. Here's the elegant part I want to point out. Because it changes the plan for the better, you're not deleting the HP eating boost logic, you're moving it. The exact behavior at lines 309 to 319, drain meter then eat HP when empty, is precisely what overburn should do. So rather than rip it out and rebuild it, we'll relocate it from the boost path to the overburn path. That honors the I want to use this later rule 11 in the cleanest possible way. It's not commented out dead code. It's live code doing its real job on the right button. So the me. So the me. Mechanic breakdown. Okay, so it's going to do that. Overburn. Yeah, cool. The two files I need before writing. And this is, wait a second. Are you doing it on both? I guess it doesn't hurt anything, but still, like, I'm definitely on the thing. Gerp that. Okay, and here we go. Boom. So theoretically, this should make the game super awesome again. And then I need to tone down the HP damage. Probably eat less boost. Dang it. See, this is the reason. I still need two things. See, this is the reason I want to do agentic. Is not because I want it to code the thing for me. I want to code the thing. But I really want it to just know these things. I want it to be able to see the project and be like, oh, yeah, I know exactly what's going on. You want to do this because I'm looking at your files. That sounds wonderful. Okay, so we're doing that. In scripts, player, ship controller, find this. I need those exact lines with their surrounding context to give you the precise replacement. movement. Let me see it. Okay. Bah. Okay. Bah. All right. And last, but probably least, we need this. So in player ship controller. Okay. We want tracks. No, we want player. Ship controller. Here we go. We'll find this. And we're going to handle speed. We'll just give you the whole handle speed function. Oh, wow. That took a second. Now I have the whole picture. Let me flag one thing in the input files just revealed because it changes the plan a little. Then I'll give you step 1. The input reality, rule 8, 2 things worth knowing before we add buttons. Is boosting is hard-coded, not per player. Look at line 90. It checks key space or joy button A directly off device ID. It does not read the boost P1, boost P2 actions that the input setup registers. So those per player actions and the logs are registered, but this method ignores them. Boost works because every keyboard player uses space and every controller uses A. That's fine for now, but it means overburn coolant should follow the same pattern. Read the key button directly from input device. Matching is boosting. No, we shouldn't do that. Simpler than I feared. Not per player action plumbing needed to match what boost actually does. So adding the buttons is 2 clean methods. Is boosting plus a... That's all for later steps. Nothing noting it now, so it's not a surprise. Step 1 needs none of it. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Find this. Replace it with this. What's name? Still true, you're holding the button, so the movement code still applies. Boost accelerating. Holding boost at empty gives free speed with no, probably not what you want. Boost, stop doing anything at empty and just stop draining. And I'll let you recall, simplest at empty, force is boosting to equal false. The movement code stops boosting. Boost cleanly does nothing when dry. Leave it. Options. A, force it to stop. B, leave it. Empty boost still accelerates. Almost certainly not intended, but it's your game. I love the snark. Yeah, let's fix it. Okay. to do something that I just forgot already. No. Oh, we're already selected on shell. Yeah, that's so nice. God, what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, tell Claude. Oh, it's still loading. I didn't have to get out of my early. Let's see. See if it works. Oh yeah, we are out of boost. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's so much better. So you can just boost to your heart's content. Now here's the question. If you're boosting, you are not generating boost. Okay, that's a problem. But that's okay. Works great. Two things. We likely want it tied to the, what was it? What was it? Boost P1. Boost P2, etc. Because we want to give them the ability to remap keys later. This is likely a bug we missed. That would have bitten us later. 1, 2. We made it so while boosting, you don't fill your boost meter. This is good, but it seems that we tied it to the key being pressed, not the boost being active. This means if you keep holding the key down, you will never gain boost. We don't want this. While holding the button down, only when you get in some fuel isn't the ideal way to play. We don't want to punish people for trying it. Works great. two things. We likely want it tied to the boost P1, boost P2, etc., because we want to give them the ability to remap keys later. This is likely a bug we missed that would have bitten us later. We made it so while boosting, you don't fill your boost meter. This is good, but it seems that we tied it to the key being pressed, not the boost being active. This means if you keep holding the key down, you will never gain boost. You will never gain boost. We don't want this. While holding the button down and boosting only when you gain some fuel isn't the ideal way to play, we don't want to punish people for trying it. Okay. Both are real, and number two is especially a sharp catch. It's a genuine gameplay bug, not just a nitpick. Let me take them one at a time because they're separate fixes. First, the actual bug, and the more important one. Number two first. Okay, it's the actual bug, and it's the more important one. Here's the one sentence why the refill is gated on is boosting, but after step one is boosting gets forced set to false and empty. So the moment you're empty is boosting is false, which should let it refill, but you're saying it doesn't. That tells me the sequence is fighting itself, and I need to see the exact current state of the diagnosis rather than guess. Okay. Oh, geez. Ha. All right. This is a long message. The per player action thing is real, but I want to be honest about scope. You're right. The latest bug is boosting reach key space hard coded, ignoring the actions. Today it works because everyone shares space. But the moment you add key remapping P1's boost would do nothing because the method doesn't read the remappable action. So fixing it enables the remapping feature later. But here's the honest trade-off. Switching is boosting to read per player actions touches how every player's boost input resolves, and it interacts with the device. Ugh. I just lost my place. The split input. If I change the per player action wiring, has any gap, boost P1 is mapped to the same keys, or the keyboard joypad device routing differs. I could break boost for split screen players. The core input path is bigger and riskier change than it looks. Okay. Do number two now. Okay. Okay, that's fine. You know what? No. How long is this darn thing? Not quite 1,000 lines. Here is the full script. I promise to tell you if I change anything that you didn't see. Way we don't have to query quite Okay. Let's do 2 now and save 1 for when we are doing the settings. All right, this one might take it a sec. Oh, or not. Okay. Parking 1, settings remapping work. Okay. Ship controller, find the whole boost meter block and handle speed and replace it with that. Sweet. That is what I was hoping you'd say. Find this. Replace it with this. Spoon Man. All right, we'll save it, run it. Come together with your hands and save me. Come together with your plans and save me. All right, I need some longer boost things. Let's do bang bang. And this track. Yeah, I really need to drop a loading screen. Okay, we're boosting. Huh. It's interesting. It flickers. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay, that works well. But it flickers at the bottom. I think Thinel, what we are going to want to do is gate the if we split it into 5, what is this, 20? 20s. Gate the boost so you can't activate it unless it's above 40%. Try, negate is the right fix. Standard solution, okay. Okay. Then find the block we just edited. Find this. And replace it with this. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Cool. Cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. There we go. And let's rerun it. And now, because we're amazing, it remembers all of our track info, which is great. Take me out together with your pants. Really hard to tell exactly. I think it's working, but it's really hard to tell with the what's it called? With the bar the way it is. How it only has 5 ticks. It's not going to be obvious, though. I don't know what to do. I could add another animation to make it obvious, but that's a little tricky. I think it's working right for now. Okay. So tuned to taste, but there's a floor on how low it can go before flicker returns. If you drop near the refill per frame amount, okay, wouldn't go below 10 to 15%. Okay. 40 seems to be working well. It's bit hard to read with only 5 frames, so we may have to change it when I add the full bar animation. For now, let's move to the coolant afterburner. Okay. All right. You know, the problem with the time I chose to do this is What is the problem with that? Oh, yeah, okay. So here's that. Boom. It's just in between enough of lunch and breakfast that I start to get hungry by the end of this, which means my brain stops working quite as well by the end of this. Oh well, my brain is working well enough to get this done. All exported, all tunable. If you want different, say so. Otherwise, I'll run with these. Just the input methods. Prove K and J register before anything touches gameplay. Okay. And scripts player input device. No. Don't do that. Nope. We want input setup input device. This. Not you. 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 And you. So we want to find that, add this after it. Cool. V. Wait! I need to flag my own error. Before I run this, I just wrote K over Burns function uses key J, which is backwards from your spec. Let me correct it. Your spec is K over burn. Oh, okay. Use this instead. Good to know. Okay. All right. K checks key K for overburn, J checks key J for coolant. Ignore the first version. This is correct, right? To test step 1, temporarily add this to handle speed in ship controller right after this. Okay, ship controller. Back to ship controller. In handle speed. Okay. Okay. We want those. And let's see if this does it. I can hear the music of this game in my head. Belly, belly, king of the bag-ass moon. The dragons fire down and how the twin sun noon. Alright, now we're gonna go K and J. Alright, and that should do it. Nope, not that. Come on. Give me this. It worked. Next step. Okay. Z. Okay. Add the export tunables by the end of the boost meter export group. Okay. That. And add this. Man, these files are getting big. Okay, overburn meter. Current boost. The current overburn. Initialize the full on spawn. Okay. Okay. Add a ratio getter from the HUD. Okay. Refill at each frame, temporary spot for now, so the meter behaves and the bar isn't static. Add refill. Else not effectively boosting, idle, stopped, or holding at empty refill. Okay. Add right after that whole if else before the if boosting throttle. That. Now the HUD. Bind the left bar. Okay. We're in the HUD. HUD. In the HUD. Oh, jeez, my baby's having a hard time. Add the HUD getter. Add this new function. Okay. All right, let's see if this worked. Take the dragons, fire down, how twin suns moon. Oh, no, not that. Let's race. Bang, bang. Start. Okay, hey, the bar is full. Okay, those don't work yet. Restart, it stays full / refill, so something spends it. Yeah, it should sit full if you took damage. Okay. Full bar, no errors. Let's wire it. Oh boy. Oh, we only got a few more minutes. But I think we can finish this and be amazing. Okay. In ship controller. Awesome. We want to find this. I'm in the HUD. Player, ship controller. Find this. And add this after it. This. Now at runtime state, find that. Add this. It is overburning. Replace this. Whoa. That's gonna get bigger. That's what he said. Okay. Now find this and replace it with this. Save and run. Let's see if this works. Boom, boom, boom. Bum, bum, bum. Billy, king of the barrels moon. Fire down, happens alone. You get to a relative straight away. There's my normal boost. Oh, whoa. Okay, it looks like it's working. It just doesn't have the effects. Okay, I don't know if J works yet. J clearly does not work yet. Okay. Okay. I have overburn, overriding boost, suppressing both overworn behavior. Something crazier. That's a tuning conversation. Okay. Two things I did not touch yet on purpose. The jet flame color. So overburn won't change the color yet. That's an FX pass, step 5. And the blur or speed lines. Pure mechanics. It'll feel faster, but not yet look different. How does he? Okay, is K clearly faster? All right. Add more speed to K. Add the motion effects. Just take the boost and turn all the knobs up for the overburn. Oh, turn it all up for the overburn. Yeah, okay. All right. More overburn speed and give it its own dialed up motion FX. Let me handle them. As 2 steps since they're different files, and I want to see the HUD's effect code before I turn its knobs. Okay. $130, $180. It's gonna be insane. It was pretty fast as is. I didn't change anything in the HUD. Dang it all. All right, next week I'm going agentic. I'm doing it. As soon as this window burns out, I'm going agentic. I kind of like this window. It's being nice to me, and I enjoy its style. But I'm so over it. Both effects have clean if boosting push hard. Okay. Funk get is boosting bool. Okay. We're going to go back to screw it. Oh, is this it? The HUD. Thought that would be right next to him. That was the worst way of doing it. No results. What? Oh, this is in ship controller. Son of a... It's just there. Add this after it. Cool. Okay, now we're in HUD. Okay, and in HUD, did I just do that? I did. That's fine. Let's do this. Replace it. Okay. Replace with that. Streak length right below that. Replace it with this. Vignette. Find this. Replace. VCCs. Okay. I want this to feel truly unhinged. All right, let's race. Bang, bang. Here we go. All right, we're gonna wait for that big straightaway. This one, we're gonna go okay. Wow, we were going fast. Holy Hannah. Okay. This is the boost. All right, I need to see this on the track that I know better. I never play this one because I'm not good at it. Let's do this one. Hey. Really need to make good tracks after this. Well, not before I release it. That'll be like the last cleanup phase is add good tracks. Oh, that's interesting. Huh, my camera has been slowly slipping throughout this process. Okay. Got the boost. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. All right, that's pretty sweet, but it is missing that perspective zoom thing. Okay. Close. It needs two things. One, boost has a perspective drop. I can't remember the proper term for this, but it looks a little like swapping to a fish eye lens. The camera feels like it drops back and widens its view. It feels really fast and sudden, and is one of the best motion effects we have. We want that, but more. 2. At lower speeds, it feels like this takes forever to get going. Oh, feels like it takes forever to get going. Part of this is the missing speed effect, but I think we should help it along even more. If the speed is below 22,000 kmph, kmph per second. How much is a kilometer anyway? How much even is a kilometer? Kilometers per hour. We add this isn't going to tell me anything. $300. Plus or something. Two good instincts. Let me take them one at a time. I need to find where each lives first. The perspective drops. That's FOV. Field of view. That's what it was called. the term you're reaching for is FOV kick or dolly zoom. Or dolly zoom cousin. When you boost, the camera's field of view widens, which makes the world stretch past you faster, and the camera feels like it drops back. It's one of the best speed cells in racing games. You want overburn to push it harder than boost. But it's driven by the camera, not the HUD. The HUD does blur and vignette overlays. But FOV is a camera 3D property, so it lives in whatever script. Okay, so there's that. Okay. Easy enough. Okay. Let's write this now. Find this. After find. We're in the HUD. Of course, we're in the HUD. Ship controller. Find that. Add this. Overburn launch speed. Overburn launch bonus. I don't know why we need both of those. Let's see. Low speed launch assist. Below this internal speed, overburn gets a bonus to punch through the sluggish low end. 200 internal. Displayed peak bonus acceleration at a standstill. Tapering to 0 at overburn launch speed. Oh, okay. Then find the overburn movement branches. Okay. That makes sense. Find this. Replace with this. Nope. Dang. Dictionary function. You wanted to search this in a dictionary. No, I didn't. I have never wanted to. I use Google if ever I want to search something in a dictionary. I never use you. Right after handle speed. No, jeez. Find this. Handle speed. Jeez. Handle speed. Right after it ends. Right after it ends. Whenever it ends. Okay. We're going to grab this. Oh boy. Okay. Now, let's feed you this. And let's run this. Let's race. Start. Okay. Game time. Oh, that feels better. That is insane. Okay. That is capiche redonkulous. Holy Hannah. That is so cool. Okay. You need the engine trails to tell you what's going on. That's for sure. Okay, this ad's kind of cool because it's hanging. Oh, there's 3 ads clumped up there because the panels go all weird. That's interesting. I don't think that's good, but that is interesting. There's no denying. You know what? I don't know that I mind that. I think I'm okay with that glitch. It looks kind of cool. Especially like, oh, look at that. That's just kind of fun. Jeez. You go so freaking fast. Okay. Okay. Okay, we got to do the other thing, and then I think we're done for today. That is amazing. That is such a cool feature. This game is fun to play again. It was fun to play before. I went on a bold kick, and oh, never mind. We got to stop now. My wife's got an appointment, and I need to take the kids. And so we end. Well, let me paste this in real quick. Thank you for tuning in, you viewer currently and any in the future. Okay, let me find this thing. That was a blast. There we go. That was super fun. Thanks for tuning in. This was a lot of fun. I was a little down last week. It was not a fun live stream. Probably to watch. Certainly wasn't a fun one to give. But we're back on the horse. This one's really good, and this game is really close. A little bit of patch up work, and then I need to replace some assets, and the game is ready for you to play and me to play. And I think I'll release it with just a few basic tracks and build up the tracks and do some staged releases as it goes. So I'll release it with some basic tracks, and then I'll add more and re-release and repost a few times on itch, because you can do that and just iterate a few times, but do that while it's out, while it's live. Anyways, I'm gonna get going. I will do more. Ideally, I will have this feature done. I will have all of the frames in and animated by next week, and probably have the menu all the way done and ready for production. After that, there's just a few sound design things and a couple other. Actually, what else is there even? There's the web test. There's me re-exporting the ads. That'll take a little bit of time, but that's the majority of it. Huh? We're close. We're surprisingly close. All right. Well, yeah. I'll see you guys next week. If I can end the stream.